So a little context to our story today. In 2023, I felt that the Lord was calling me to end my season as a teacher, and not quite sure where He was sending me, but I knew that we were supposed to step out in faith to do that. That leads us into 2024, where by then we had a clear understanding of what I was going to be doing in my new career, but it also came with the prospect of perhaps not getting a paycheck on a routine basis. That was a new experience for us, but we felt that there was a peace about doing that we felt that we were doing what God had called us to do, and we needed to get on board and expect Him to be faithful as He always has been to us. And so I think the part that was really unique is that God showed up, but He showed up in so many unique ways that we couldn't have predicted or controlled. And I think that's one of the things that we really learned about in this past year, was allowing Him to show up where He wanted to show up. And so it wasn't in a traditional way with, magically having a good paycheck and sorts of things, but it came from all sorts of directions. His blessing came to us without really any idea that it was going to come from certain sources. So we had a number of different ways in which God provided for us. We had someone gift us a car, which was incredible. We had family members who supported us, our church family supported us, and God kept showing up in unique ways that we couldn't possibly anticipate.
Yeah, and I knew it was coming. I wasn't sure how it was going to come, but early on I decided to keep this list. And so on the fridge I have this list that says ways God is providing. And it was such a great practice to write down the times when He provided, because I think, a lot of times when you're going through something hard, you can get kind of cranky about it, or irritable, or even angry at God. But when you have gratitude, it changes everything. When you can see it in front of you, like, oh, He provided here in January. Oh, look how He's providing in February. It actually created a sense of excitement. How's He going to provide in March? What's that going to look like? And I don't think we could have guessed any one of these. They were so out of the blue. We just didn't know how it was going to come, but we knew that it was going to come.
For me, one of the lessons was also this, the verse that talks about that He is the vine and we're the branches and we're to abide in Him. And I think we really lived into what that means this year, fully understanding to rely on God for His provision and protection for our family and for our household. And we really saw that and learned a really valuable lesson through what we experienced this year. I would say it's definitely affected the way that I pray, in that I pray honestly and openly about the things that I need from my Father in heaven, but I don't put labels or expectations on how I want Him to show up. I think that is a valuable lesson we learned for the past year, is ask whatever you want of God, but sit back and rest in that peace that comes from knowing He's got you. And you just never know where and when that answer to prayer is going to come.
His resources are vast, and He can work through whomever He wants to. Like one of my favorite examples is He orchestrated this situation where a parent of one of my former students contacted me out of the blue. We were not like close friends or anything. We met for lunch, and somehow a gift came through that. And we could not have orchestrated that. I guess I realized that I think I put God in a box sometimes, and I put these little limits around Him, like it has to be this way, and it doesn't. And I'm more okay with that now than I ever was, because I think it's easier when we know exactly where the funds are coming from. And it's even easier if we felt like we provided some of those funds. But it's a better place to be more dependent on Him and to realize He's got you. It may not be exactly when you want it to be, but His timing is perfect.
I think a lot of it just comes from walking in the day-to-day, gaining encouragement from reading God's Word, engaging with Him in prayer on a daily basis, and then just trusting that it's going to happen. And it wasn't like the year was easy by any stretch. We knew that we just needed to keep going. We needed to keep taking a step at a time and trust that God was going to be there.
Know that you're not alone. Our struggles are financial, but there are people who have relational struggles and health struggles and all kinds of struggles. God is always with you, always.
We're still in a space where we're relying on God, but I think that's where we need to be. It's not like we're expecting myself or Kelly to somehow manipulate and make things better. We want to see what God has in store for us in 2025, the same way that we've learned these valuable lessons in our past year. God is faithful, and we have seen it.